Welcome to Parenthood Bites, the podcast where we explore life as a parent in tech. I'm your host, Chiao, and I have over 15 years of experience in tech, and I'm also currently working as a career coach. I'm the proud mother of three incredible boys. In each episode, we have an inspiring guest who will share their remarkable story. You'll find their wisdom and insights both relatable and enriching, because after all, we're all in this parenting journey together. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to episode 4 of Parenthood Bites. We're here today with Bobby, who lives in Texas and is a senior technical program manager at Amazon. Welcome, Bobby. We're so happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, I like to start with asking what brought you to tech and how many years have you been in tech?
Uh, so I've been in tech for about 15 years now. I started as a programmer. I got into it just because I grew up in Silicon Valley, so my friends were doing it. Dad told me to do it, but I gave it a go. It wasn't I wasn't great at it. I didn't love it. Found out like if you're not a superstar in it, it's probably better to move on. And so I transitioned to technical program management after that. Been doing that for 10 years now, about.
Nice. And I totally get it growing up in Silicon Valley. My dad also told me to be a programmer. He was like, it's so fun. You got to do it.
It tricked us.
And I remember going through college and going, it's not that fun.
Not the funnest. Yeah, it's definitely more very lucrative versus some other majors. So I don't think it's bad that my parents asked us to go into the or not asked us direct me, hey Bobby,
Told
you should
us,
check this
yeah,
out. But so yeah,
tricked
it
us.
worked out. Eventually, yeah, it's good stepping stone to technical program management. So been happy with it.
Nice. So, how many years were you working in tech when you became a parent?
Pretty early on, actually. I think I started actually my working career in Taiwan. I actually thought after college, I thought it'd be fun to move overseas, and my parents were there, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over there and try to get a job there. And then I was working in Taiwan, programming, and met a girl, got married, and so maybe about 3 years in tech. I was an engineer first, and then I was a program manager like a couple years after that. So I was about 3 years into tech then, before I had my first kid.
So it was pretty early on. Yeah, early on in your career.
Yeah, it was pretty early. 3 years about.
And so you were still an engineer at that time, like still coding.
No, no. So I was okay. So what happened was I tried to actually stick with programming for a year, and then I just gave up, and then I went back to school in Taiwan, and after that yeah, that's where I met my wife. And so we after school I became a software program manager, and 3 years into that job is when roughly I had my first kid, and so that's how it worked out.
Cool. So what was the parental leave like there?
There is parental leave. It's not as generous as where I'm at right now. Like there, it was. I want to say just 2 weeks for the dad. The mom, I think by law it's like a month. My wife was working at the time for Texas Instruments. I think they gave her a couple more months on top of that, which was I mean, great. But yeah, I think for at least for my company, the dad only gets I think 2 weeks off to spend with the mom and right after birth. So yeah, I mean, it's okay. It was at the time I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, this seems pretty reasonable. And then come back to America, and I was like, people get a month off. It's awesome. And so-
And I think also even here, right, it depends on where you work. Some companies really don't even have a month.
yeah, I had yeah. So I had my second kid actually when I was here at Amazon. I was only here for 6 months, like when I had my second kid, roughly, and so I was kind of scared to take. Yeah, well, not scared, but in shipping season, it's just I didn't want to take too much time. I mean, I took a week or two off, but I think the parental leave was definitely more generous at Amazon in the United States in general, and so I could have taken more time off. It's just as like, I think it's very relative to like how comfortable you are at the company. I was there just for like it was under a year, and so I was wanted to just make sure like I made a good impression everywhere. So sacrifice there.
Yeah. So how long did you take with your second child?
Probably just like a week and a half. Really, it wasn't a long time. I mean, my family at that point had moved back to the U.S., so like I had family help too. So, and then my wife originally she was also working when we were both in Taiwan. When we moved back to the United States, she quit her job. She quit her well actually I'm misremembering now. She actually didn't quit. She had parental leave. She quit shortly after that. But it was less hectic, I guess, because maybe because family was around. So it wasn't as bad as like when we were in Taiwan.
Gotcha.
Less family around.
Yeah. So if you think back to kind of both of these experiences, how did your work take it? Were they just like, hey, take as much time as you need? Or were they like, no, 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 try to come back soon?
I I mean I felt like no one was really pressuring me to come back to work. I'm kind of a workaholic anyways, so like I definitely put in a bunch of hours regardless. So I could they probably want me to take a vacation anyways, and not saying parental leave is a vacation. It's difficult sometimes, but yeah, nobody was pressuring me to come back. I mean, it's more of like your self-imposed pressure on like I don't want my team covering for me for this long when it's yeah, especially things that you're just like the single owner for stuff and a guy's just trying to help out and he's getting tortured. So like it at least for me, I feel worse if I was like taking like even if they offered me 2 months, I'd just feel really bad for like making a coworker take on that much work for 2 months. But like my management, no, not at any time did I feel like any pressure to come back or like they all took it very well. Like everyone's like happy for you and stuff, giving me advice and whatnot. So it's
Nice. So what was the time you were allowed to take at with your second kid?
at Amazon. Um, I want to say a month. I'm sure it's changed right now. So like this is maybe I don't even know how long ago.
Well, how old is your second
Eight
kid?
8 years ago. Well, oh yeah, ha. There you go. Yeah, so I guess 10 years ago. Oh, right, no, he's yeah, 10 years ago. God, yeah, he's 10.
So at both places you were at, was there, if you recall, was there a mother's room?
In Taiwan, I honestly just don't remember. It's been so long ago. I don't know. In at Amazon, yes, definitely. There's every floor I think has a mother's room.
Nice.
And yeah, so I mean, I think that I've never been in there or anything, but yeah, I've seen it there and
So
yeah.
you have two kids. What are their ages?
My daughter's 12. My son is 10, and they're a handful. But yeah, they're mine. Stuck with them.
So the older one, is she in middle school now?
Yeah, yeah. She's into volleyball, and well, that's what she's into. Just volleyball all the time.
And so what do you do for childcare?
So today, my wife, we own our own little bakery too. So she runs the bakery, but it's kind of part time that she runs it. We have like just a manager run it. So for the most part, she's at home like Monday through Friday. She just really goes to the bakery on the weekends when there's more customers and stuff. So for childcare, at least like, and they're old enough where it's okay to leave them at home for like a couple hours. Mostly, it's just I mean, I'm sure you have a bunch of kids too. Like it's just driving kids here and there and just trying to juggle that. But childcare wise, there's it's kind of non-existent now. It's just classes and stuff that we just yeah, hey, got to bring you to this class. You're going to swimming classes, basketball, volleyball, whatever.
Wow. Do you have them?
Mainly school though, like a lot of school stuff.
You have them in a lot of activities?
So I live in Austin, right? So like for Austin it's not as bad. It depends. Like we're not crazy parents or like you're just like I mean helicopter where we just try to get them into everything and fill up their time like as much as we can, but we're not like idle either where like, my wife is not okay with just coming home and doing their schoolwork and that's it. So we do have them in a bunch of activities at least like once a day, one thing a day at least. Maybe I think Fridays are off. For the most part, it's my wife scheduling all this stuff, making sure, hey, volleyball season's over. Let's make sure our like writing classes are, we can readjust them and stuff. So, but yeah, like they get kind of bored when they don't have anything to do.
Sorry, it cut out a
So,
little bit when you said, "Oh,
oh,
volleyball
oh
season's
no,
over."
well, no, yeah, it was more,
Yeah,
can you hear me right now? Okay, so what was the question?
I was just asking, do they
was
are they in a lot of activities outside of school?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So like we try to keep them busy. My son is like needs to be kept busy more than my daughter. My son is just I think just yesterday he has like a running thing that he does like twice a week where we just get him to go run with like a group that's ending, and so he was bored yesterday, and then my wife's asked him, do you want us to sign you up for something else? And he's like, yes, I'm too bored at home, just because we don't really let him go wild like on the weekdays. He just doesn't get screen time, and then that's kind of what drives them into like so if they can't do that, he can only read, and eventually they get tired of reading so much too. So they're just used to having that activity every day at least. So yeah, he's like, yeah, sign me up for something. Ideally not homework based. So he asked for more basketball because I think recently he's been in a basketball kick. But yeah, got him in activities at least once a week, once a day.
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
lot to juggle. Good on you and your wife
I mean
for
it's a lot. Like
doing that.
you you lose your weekends. That kind of sucks. Like it's just no free time to do anything. Like you can't travel because someone's got some class or some competition somewhere. So it's hard to like schedule like time off really. And I guess yeah, particularly for my wife, it's just I don't know how she keeps all this stuff in her head. Like XYZ's got. I mean, my Sophie's got 5 to 6. This guy's got 5:30 to 6:30. It's just I mean, she doesn't write it down, which is amazing. But I know her phone has like thousands of alarms that go off, and I'm always just like I don't know what that one is for, but she'll tell me like you're supposed to go be picking him up.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I just have the boys in Taekwondo, and that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that already, I'm like, that's a lot. And I have them in the same class. It's the same time.
Oh, that's awesome. We tried to do this actually. Like we had them both in tennis at the same time. What else did we have them at the same? Like it's um like Chinese school, like certain things at the same time, but eventually like their skill levels would kind of diverge, and like yeah, I mean the instructors like, and then like writing classes actually like they could probably be in the same writing class there, but it's hard. It's starting to diverge like a lot, and so we can't even get them to anything together anymore. They actually enjoy being in classes together now. Before they hated it, but now like because they never are in classes together, they're happy about it.
Yeah, Chinese school. That's like our whole Saturday
Chinese school.
because the older two are from 9 to 11, and then the younger one is from 11 to 1. And so basically, half your Saturday is gone.
Ah, you're stuck there. Oh man, yeah. My kids gave up on Chinese a long time ago, though. It's hard. Language is very hard, I think, to keep at it. You have to do it. You have, I mean, talk with them at home. My wife could do it, but I think it's actually easier with a single child. Actually, I have a theory, like, because like they just don't have anyone else to talk to in English at home, and so they'll just talk to you in Chinese if that was the case. And now, if, like my wife still talks to them in Chinese, they'll just talk to each other in English, and then my wife will just get pulled into that, and
Yeah,
yep,
same.
no going
We
back.
try, but then we get pulled back into
Yeah,
speaking English to them too. And it's like, oh gosh, we got to try harder. And every time we go in there being
yeah.
like, okay, today's the day. No.
20 minutes later,
Yeah.
it's over. It's gone.
So, how has your work life changed since you became a parent?
Initially it didn't change very much. I was kind of yeah, just so like I just moved here, like got a second kid, started my job, so like I was more focused on my job, and my wife's like, okay, I'll leave my she left her job so she could take care of the kids, and so allow me to like spend more time at on work. Um, now today, like I mean, as time progressed and got more comfortable with the job, you kind of like you're okay with like I can miss these meetings, like I can block off time and try to like establish more boundaries. It is hard to do that. It- and I joined when I joined Amazon. It was I joined the device division. It was very early on. So like not a lot of people so you're doing a lot of different things. It was a kind of a startup more culture where just you're just doing everything. I know I'm saying that because but it's like Amazon, but um it was a long time ago, and like devices were not like a big thing before for them, and so like I was making the first tablet, first everything, that type of stuff. So like it was a lot of work. I mean, today when you join, you're like in a little silo, and like you're not actually like infinite amount of stuff to do. And so yeah, I do think like when you join and what kind of team you join actually impacts how, the pressure you have on how much time you need to spend on the job. I don't now today like yeah if my kid has like an important thing I just block off that time and just I'll be there. And my wife is very understanding on that. Like she'll juggle it so that I don't have to, but if I can I will join. My daughter had a volleyball game yesterday. I wasn't supposed to go, but my schedule freed up, and so I mean, I got to see her play. I mean, they lost, but eh, still.
But that's awesome. She must have been so happy to see you there.
I don't know, man. I'll give a lot of pointers after. we'll have a we have a review after the game about like how to improve on stuff on this stuff. But yeah, I know it sounds like I'm crazy, but like stuff gets crazy. Like I don't know if you guys have like club teams and stuff. Club teams for like sports are the it is obscene. Like it is. I think it is like $5,000 for like 3 months, and like
Wow.
of just volleyball, and they go like out of state and stuff, like to like travel overnights and stuff, and it's just like, God, man, really? She's not even that good, but she loves it, and it's just like, all right, keep doing it.
That
But
sounds really intense. And that's a lot for the parents too to
yes, obviously, like when you're reviewing like a video of like, hey, you could have been doing this better. She doesn't really like. No one loves being like critiqued over and over again, especially like with video, because like, what are you gonna argue, man? It's just like, yes, my feet weren't moving then. But yeah, I mean, she also like will ask, hey, Dad, can we look at those again? Like, because she knows like it's if she doesn't get better, then yeah, she won't make the teams. And so yeah, but like yeah, club teams are they're uh they're crazy. My son though is not like that into like any one sport. He does with little of everything, and so like hey, all rec league stuff, it's great.
So, what has been your biggest challenge being a working parent?
I do think it's like you are sacrificing some like so I in between like I took about 3 years off when I was working here at Amazon, or 2 3 years. I kind of like semi-retired and then was with them actually during COVID. We weren't working, we were actually yeah semi-retired. And so it was like you kind of realize what you're missing. Like I able to sit there and just I mean I'm not saying I'm doing this every day, but like I was able to read his what he writes every day and just like critique it and like this isn't good, man. I don't know what to, stop using like certain ways you like write, and I do think writing is very important. And so we had our kids hated it. I hate reading their writing, to be honest. But like the attention to being able to like give them that type of attention, know every aspect of what they're working on. Like we don't really get that much information from school, but if they know like dad's gonna ask me, I might as well just tell him. And so yeah, like today I go home and I ask him how school was. I'll get like oh it's good, okay, and I can ask how any tests or anything, and you'll get like a couple of words out from him, and then that's about it. So you do lose the details of like what's happening in their life. I I do feel like there are stuff that hey, if I was there, we could have done it better. Just kind of like I can try to help them avoid mistakes that I know they'll run into. But like I mean, we're very fortunate that my wife is not working, so she does shoulder a lot of that load, reading their stuff. um, but yeah, and so like yeah, that's how my work has actually changed how I parent. If I wasn't working, I'd probably be much more. I would also actually do a lot of things more with them. Actually, more I think about it, when I wasn't working, like I'd make them go running with me. I hate running, but like for them, I would go like, okay, let's go run. I mean, in the end, I could just tell them to run because they got used to it. But and I could just sit at home, which was horrible. But but I mean, getting them to do like build good habits. I think being there for your kids, I think it is important to like them growing up, and we do lose that with work. I can't be there. I mean, even if I worked a 9 to 5, which unfortunately I don't. I'm because most of my team is in San Jose. I'm actually staggered off a little bit. But yeah, being there for the when they're growing up, you do get to like build good habits with them. Make sure they see like, hey, this is how like you have work. You just do it before like, and then suck it up, and then you can play later. Yeah, that type of stuff. Again, we're fortunate that my wife isn't working and like is able to spend that time.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of details that also as they get older, they don't share with us. When you ask them, they're just like, "Oh, it was great." And you're like, "I don't know what great is. Tell me more about your day." And they just don't tell you. And then if you're there, you can see more of those details, right? That it sounds like your wife is able to take care of.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, I didn't even tell you. My daughter has like a, what is it called? Kind of semi boyfriend now, and she doesn't think we know, but like, well, we gave her a phone where like I told her like I'm spying on your phone all the time. It better not be like better. So she's learned how to like delete messages like on iPhone, and then you have to go into the message and then delete it again. And she's doing that, and it's like, oh my gosh. But like my wife is like, we got to figure out a way to like spy more on this because like so we've been able to spy a little bit. I mean, I have told her that when I gave her the phone, I was like, I'm gonna spy on you like crazy. You are not, and we have like parental controls on there and stuff too. And like initially, like we asked her, hey, give me your phone, I want to take a look at it, and she just like happily gave it to us. Now we don't really look at it, but this boyfriend thing, oh man, my wife also doesn't want to confront her because it's just like like blow the trust over here. Let's just quietly monitor. I'm like, okay, whatever. This is more my wife, just to be clear. Anyways, like yeah, can't control them.
Yeah, I hear you. My older two now have cell phones, and then, we
Oh
control their screen time, but sometimes they're sitting there on their phone, right? And I'm like,
yeah,
what are you doing? Oh, I'm talking to my friend about homework. I'm like, okay,
no way,
you have that much
no way.
homework. I haven't gotten to the point where I check on it yet because I want them to know that, like, okay, I trust you, but there is a part of me that's like, I don't think you're talking about homework. You're
Oh
chuckling
man,
like you're not talking about homework. But they haven't gotten interested in, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend.
that you know of. You're not checking their phone.
Yeah, that I know of. That's true. They tell me, when like the other day, the second kid came home and he's like, "Oh, there were some eighth graders making out outside. It was so gross." So I'm like, okay, maybe they're not into that just yet. But I don't know. I only know what they share. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
I mean, it's been a while. I haven't, I've never really actually looked. It's just my wife telling me. Of course, I'll listen because, like, hey, it's interesting. But we are always actually like, so like she wants to go with her friends to like watch a movie. We're like, all right. And just in the mind, we're like, do you think the guy's there? Let's go check. like, and honestly, we don't even know what this guy. I mean, we have a yearbook. We're like spying on him. It's pretty funny though. It's a little creepy too. But they're my kid, man. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it.
you got to do what you can to protect your kids, right? So, I know this is something we're all working on and probably it changes with, your stage of life, where you're at. But, what are some things that you do for work life balance?
It's a good question, actually. I think I mentioned like I'm kind of a workaholic. It's not really like in my nature to like I won't block off time that's like unavailable. I mean within reason. Like how I try to keep at least like some sanity is like we do like if I am like working late, because I mean my teams are all over the world that like we have to just be on meetings at night sometimes. I will try to take those mornings off, bring my kids to school to like make sure I get some time with them, talk with them if I can, walk with them somewhere. But like trying to keep weekends off limits for work is, yeah, I mean it normally is off limits. It's just like when you're shipping and stuff, it's just you can't. Inevitably you have to work then, and so to be honest, I'm not really good about keeping limits on like work life balance. I do when I try to put my computer off that like I'm done. Like I don't care. And like we have like Slack on people's phones. I just refuse to install it. I think that's at least like helpful for me to like unplug. I used to like always have my email going and my Slack on my phone, and people were just getting used to like, hey, I can reach Bobby all the time. And so now, actually, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing for me that helped is just like get it off my phone. Like I don't even want to see it. If I don't know about it, great. If it's really bad, they'll call me, and yeah, sometimes you get a call and I'll just go to it. But for the most part, it's actually helped a lot. And the more I think about it, that was the best thing actually, the best decision. don't install Slack on your phone.
Yeah, that's huge. I think that's a great tip because once you get that notification, then you're going to want to look at it and look at other
Yeah.
channels and just, it's a whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's just the rabbit hole. You just keep, and then once you open the app, it's like 7 things you can do, and yeah. So mornings suck, but but yeah, at least there's the when I sign off, I'm signed off, so that part's good.
Yeah, that's great. You have that boundary. And I also love what you said about like if I have to work late with meetings, then I try to take the next morning off to spend time with my kids and stuff so they know that you are present and you are there for them. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I do when I get home. I mean, we'll definitely go to them and talk. I think my wife is also like very. Well, you go talk to your kids first before like okay, but I'm hungry.
So what are some things that help you relax or unwind after a long day or long week?
I'll sit there and just like idle in front of like it's just Netflix or something on Amazon Prime. Whatever's playing. Like it's. I mean, I'll for the most part I'll be like watching, just have a video on there and just like kind of sit there watching it. I mean, that's kind of how I unwind. I mean, I'll watch sports a little bit. Oh, I do game every night normally. Well, when I have time with my buddies from high school still. So um, that actually is pretty awesome because just get your mind off everything besides like yelling at them to stop sucking. Um, so yeah, I mean actually that's probably the best thing I have. I mean we play every night basically, but if you skip a night, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like no pressure, just fun hanging out with friends.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
cool.
mean it's a good like release on stuff. Used to try to meditate, but I just can't do it. I know my wife does yoga every day, like goes to classes and she enjoys that. So we have our own things that we do. I think we always like every night or morning, not every, but like we try to walk the dog at night together or in the mornings. Um, so and the kids they just don't want to do it, so it's just us two. That helps us relax a little bit. They'll just be at home doing what they're doing or at whatever activity they're at. But yeah.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Before you get the dog, they're like, we're totally gonna walk the dog, feed the dog,
Oh
do all
man.
the things. And then once you get the
Oh
dog,
yeah.
where are my kids?
Yeah.
Not near the dog.
Oh yeah. They've promised for the second. They want a second dog. We're like no, no, and they're like, well, dog, take care of it. No, you won't. No, but so they do stuff with the dog. They actually even shower our dog. It's just never like washed very well, and my dog hates them because they're. I don't know, man. It's. I won't like my kids are actually pretty like good about like this stuff. If I've made them promise certain things, they'll do it. But yeah, I mean like I do enjoy like having some time. I think me and my wife both enjoy like having some time to like just walk and
Yeah.
relax and like kind of gossip a little bit about my kids' life a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, my kids will help with the dog, but we have to tell them, we have to put a
You
schedule
gotta remind them.
there and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Although
yeah,
sometimes, Xander will go and like just hang out with the dog. I'll look downstairs and
yeah.
he's just lying there with the dog. He really
Oh
loves
yeah,
her.
my son is that way. My dog doesn't even love him that much. It's so sad.
Who is your dog's favorite?
Oh man, me, come on, my dog like loves me. It's not, it's that, and my just doesn't like I mean, doesn't not like kids, but like I don't know. It's just the dog will always like kind of like my son will just come and ask me, why does my dog's name's Fluffy? Why does Fluffy always
Oh,
follow you? How do you make him follow me? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe dad just smells funny and then he likes me or something. I don't know. Cause like, how do you tell him like he doesn't love you as much?
yeah.
Oh,
You can't say
but he
that.
knows actually. Like,
But that can't be your
it's not.
answer.
Yeah, I can't say he doesn't love you. Just loves us differently.
So I guess like what are some struggle like we talked about your biggest struggle with kids, biggest challenge, but what about with them at their current age, 10 and 12? What's the biggest struggle you have today?
With my 10-year-old, I think my biggest struggle is more that I'm worried about him, like, not academic wise. Like, it's more like I guess like socially, I want him to have like a best friend that he just doesn't have. Like he goes to school is happy and he talks to all these kids, but like like trying to make a best friend for him, like make sure that he has a like I don't know if you how you grew up like in middle school or high school, but it was always like you'd always hang out with a best friend. I want to make sure like that happens for him because I'm not actually he's not awkward or anything. It's just like he every year they change classes and every year like okay I'm hanging out with this guy now and I always kind of want him to have like once you get to middle school you just choose a bunch of classes you have classes with different people all the time and
Yeah.
I've learned that because watching my daughter because I mean my daughter's like the test child first so poor kid but yeah my second kid I was like oh we need to find a best friend so that like you'll always have someone to like kind of hang out with and so like that's what me and my wife are always just trying to like figure out okay we got to find a best friend now let's figure out who to attach to become his best friend my son is just oblivious he's just okay I'm gonna go let's go play I'll play with him let's go invite him over let's do it doesn't matter who he's happy so yeah like that's I mean otherwise like trying to like keep him busy is the hardest thing for him at least like at that age he still wants us to like kind of he doesn't have like his own like this is what I want to do besides like screen time like he definitely has what he wants to do on screen time but like if there's no screen time you like he needs somebody to like kind of tell him what to go do.
That's the exact same way with my youngest. Like, go read.
Oh
And then
man.
he'll read and come back and he'll be like, I'm done reading. I'm tired of reading. And then we're like,
you,
okay, go
you
play
need
with
something
something,
else.
figure out something. And then he wants to just play with his iPad or watch
Yeah.
TV. And it's like, okay, something other than that. Then he just lies there and goes, I don't know.
Oh yeah dude oh man oh you know what's bad my son like loves like the fire pit so he loves like starting a fire and stuff and so like he'll like take sticks out of the fire pit and like try to like burn like little like what's it called acorns and stuff and it's just I don't know if it's safe but it like gets him away from me at least for a while and like keeps him busy and he's really interested in that stuff so but he enjoys it I mean like he loves having like I mean Texas is super hot but when the weather's nice it's pretty awesome.
What about your 12-year-old?
Oh yeah my 12-year-old what's most challenging with her I think the hardest thing with well actually for both kids is like making sure that like particularly my 12-year-old is more like she just tries to do it they all both try to do just enough to get by like they're we have them in so many like after school activities like their math skills are great but like they're a math olympiad or something like if she's like second I mean like she's like that's good enough I'm good I don't need to get like 100 and it's yeah it is it's true I'd like you to try but hey it's okay and so like trying to get her to like keep trying to self improve is the hardest thing I think for kids. Like them themselves want to get better and better because like I mean I talking with like parents of older kids like they'll start getting pressure like in high school where they need to figure out how to get in the top X percent and yeah like getting into good habit now would go a long way like figuring out like otherwise you're just behind all the time. But yeah, I think trying to hey, do you want to try to like study a little more first? Because like my daughter's like doesn't she'll have quizzes and she won't study and she does fine in them. It's like 90s, hundreds, but we've now like instituted a rule like, hey, you come home if you have a quiz, you have to go study, like because I mean I like she's yesterday studied math and I honestly don't know what she studied. I'm sure she got 100. It's just trying to make sure that she's like all over it and like keep trying to make yeah just make sure she's not like just doing just enough to get by. Yeah, trying to get her to into that mindset.
Yeah, I hear you because right now it's manageable, but as they get older, it gets harder and harder and more competitive.
Yeah,
And so they're going
yeah,
to have to have these good habits. I think for my oldest, when he was in 6th grade, it was everything was fine. And then like 7th grade it started getting even harder, and so then
uh-huh.
he would like ask us, wake me up at 5 or 6 in the morning so I can study because I have a test
What?
or a quiz, like we never told him like you have to, we just said try your best. And I think for him,
Yeah,
try my best is I gotta give it my all and really study hard. And now in 8th grade it's actually easier. I
Is
guess
it?
his teachers are not
Wow.
as difficult as they were in seventh grade. So he's kind of just like,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, wait, we haven't had to wake up early since he started school. And so I think because he built those habits in seventh grade, that now it's like
Yeah.
he knows if he needs to, he'll do extra. But most of the time, he's kind of just like, it's cool.
Yeah, dude, my wife goes nuts when my daughter is just off doing something when we know she has something else that she needs to be doing, and she's just sitting there laying down with dog, like looking at the sky, and she's like, "Yo, should you be doing something? "Eh, maybe."
They like to do that,
Yeah.
at least my kids. When they don't have anything going on, they just lie there and stare. And I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, I'm relaxing, but you're staring at the ceiling. Sounds like your kids do that too.
It's relaxing, mom.
Yeah.
They don't tell me it's relaxing, but I don't mean they're like I don't know. They just keep staring. Okay, I'm making them sound really stupid. They're not actually like that. They'll never do that around other people, I think, but
Yeah.
just when
When
they're
they're
like
alone and they have
zoned out.
nothing else going on. Maybe it is relaxing
Yeah,
for them because they have a lot of
yeah.
activities and things, right?
Well, who knows? For the most part, the activities are fun. Okay, it's not
I'm
like,
sure it's fun.
well,
But
maybe
it's
not.
still,
But
things you have to do. And so maybe that's their downtime.
yeah.
What's something
Yep.
you would tell someone that's getting ready to be a parent? Someone in tech who's about to start a family, or something you wish you knew before you had kids?
I do think like if like to my wife made a comment. Maybe I've told you this before, but like she made a comment to me once when we were driving. Like this was like 5 years ago. It's just we're just driving. She just mentioned like, did you know that having kids would ruin our lives? And then she didn't mean it like horribly, but she's just like your whole life is kind of just centered around them now. And so like I do like if you're having kids, go on those honeymoon. Just go negative balance on your PTO if you can. Um, get those things out of your yeah. Check those things off your bucket list. Like we brought our kid to like Japan and it was painful. This is when like I think I don't know they were like 3 and 5 or something, but like I mean I still enjoyed it, but like it's a small country and like it's very quiet too. Like and my kids are not they're not quiet kids. It's embarrassing to have them there, and so um, yeah, like stuff like that. Like that's what my wife was more referring to. Not like I mean, there's definitely some happiness and there's a lot of happiness with having watching them grow up and like having them accomplish stuff. But like your whole life will change. I don't know if that's really pertinent to tech, but I do think like workers in tech are in a good position to like, hey, I want to take an extra 3 weeks off. It's okay if I go negative PTO balance. I'll figure it out, right? Or I'll make it up later. It's a relatively good like work environment where you can actually like make that like hey I want to get something out of the way before like we actually have kids but when you do have a kid I do think like years 2 through like 4 are the worst like I don't know if you agree with those but after those years you're good it's a lot better maybe 5 2 through 5 maybe
When they go to school.
when they go to kindergarten I think it gets a lot better at least that was yeah when they go to school maybe 6 then. But yeah, when they go to school, it is so much better. I'm okay leaving them at home themselves. I'm not afraid they'll like do something. Well, maybe my youngest might do something stupid, but like if I tell him not to do something stupid, he'll okay, maybe he won't. But left alone to his devices, yeah, maybe he would. But for the most part, like they're fine. They're self-sufficient. I could probably leave them like I don't do this, but I mean I could probably drop them off at the mall themselves and they'd be okay. I wonder actually about my son if I did that. Could make a TV series about it or something. I mean, yeah, specifically for tech workers, other than that, like, it's I wouldn't take work so seriously. I mean, there's other jobs in the world. Like if your work environment really doesn't want you, like really pressuring you to like prioritize work over family, I would probably like rethink where I'm working or ask for some mega raise or something. but 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 yeah, like I do think like you only get one chance to be a parent really, or multiple chances if you have multiple kids. But yeah, I mean it's going by fast. It's gone by really fast for me. And I was even fortunate to have like 3 years with them. Just so like yeah, it's I do think like yeah, you should. When they get to like an age like at 5, I do think like yeah, it becomes easier, but it's also a good time to like spend more time with them and get them into good habits. I think the habits stuff is very important.
Yeah, they do grow up really fast. And I think you're right. Those first few years are definitely, they just fly by, but then they're the hardest too. Like, I think back and it's like a
Yeah, they're so
blur.
hard.
Just, you're just always doing
Yeah,
something for
I
them, right?
have two friends that are just getting like they reset. They just getting new kids again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, are you sure you want to reset this whole thing? And they're like, no, but my wife wants it. I'm just like, okay, well,
Good luck.
gotta do what you gotta do, man. Like, but yeah, I mean, when they're like now they're. I mean, there's different like things you need to worry about, and like they're more manageable stuff. I think it's less like frustrating things. And there are frustrating things too. I don't know about you, but like certain things like oh man, my daughter trying to like do what's it called? Absolute value. Is just she cannot get this into her head. Like we've gone over absolute value like 5 times every time. Like, how do you solve this formula? It just comes up with like my wife's not helping either. She's giving her like random like problems where like yeah, she's not helping. She's tricking them too. So like it's also like frustrating my kids too. So like she's giving them harder and harder problems, and they're just like, Mom, I think there's only there should be 4 answers here, but there's only three, and I don't know why. And my wife has tricked them into 3 answers, and so like my kids think they're wrong. It's a disaster. Absolute values are my
It's
my
different
daughter's like
frustrations as they get older,
yes, different
right? Like,
frustrations.
they're
Yes,
self sufficient. You can leave them alone for a small period of time, but there's other things that you have to worry about.
yes. Like, how come you can't spell this word right? Like what's wrong with you?
Well, it was
Yeah,
very nice talking to you today, Bobby. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
it was nice talking to you too.
I really enjoyed hearing about your kids and how they've grown over time and stuff. So, thank you.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Hope you have a great rest of your week.
You too.
All right.
Bye, ciao.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today on Parenthood Bites. We hope you found our episode informative and entertaining. If you're a parent in the tech world or know someone who is, we'd love to hear from you. Please reach out to us at chow@parenthoodbites.co, and we'll be thrilled to add your experiences to our interviews. That's Chiao, CHIAO, at parenthoodbites.co. And to our potential sponsors out there, if you're a business or know of one that would like to support and partner with our podcast, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can also reach us at chow@parenthoodbites.co. Thank you once again for tuning in, and we wish you a fantastic rest of your week. Until next time, take care and stay curious.